Hey everybody, welcome back to BHD Sports. You got Brett, Chris, and Adam. We're back here again, and we're really pumped about our guest today. We're pleased to welcome Brett Draper to the show. Brett has played lacrosse coast to coast across Canada, and just recently signed with the reigning NLL champion Colorado Mammoth. Brett was a draft pick for the Thunderbirds and played here in Dartmouth in the Junior A program, winning a few championships. But also very impressively was the second team Allstar playing Senior A out in BC, out on the West Coast in what's an extremely competitive league. We're really pumped to have you on the show, and we're going to have some fun here tonight.
Welcome.
Yeah,
buddy.
unreal, boys. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Oh man, we are so pumped to have you on, buddy, and I can't wait to hear about your experiences. And I actually played a little lacrosse in BC back when I was a young buck, so I know how crazy it is out there. So I'm especially excited to hear about that experience and what that was like for you. But I think our first question tonight is going to go to Mr. Denny. What do you got? What do you got for Drapes tonight, buddy?
My first question is, what did you, or how did you fall in love with lacrosse?
That's actually this is a good story too. Actually I'm staying at my mom's house right now. I got back from BC like 2 months ago, so I've been here hanging out. One of my best friends, his parents lives right up the road. So I was probably 6 or 7. He started playing like minor lacrosse, and I was still playing like soccer at the time, like every 5-year-old does, right? Just timid soccer, whatever.
Soccer.
And I would just go to his games with him and watch him play because there's nothing else to do. But yeah, come watch, come play. And finally, I was like, I want to play this next year. Like, this is unreal. And then so finally, next year comes, they get me in it. We go to tryouts together. We do everything together. We're doing it all together. And when it came to like make the teams, he made the A team. I made the B team. So I don't know if it was his parents or if it was him that made the decision, but he dropped down to play with me so I could like play and get there every game. And that was it. I was like, man, just that year, so fun. Like, I can run, I can do all that stuff, especially at that young age. Like, I didn't like getting hit much, but I just kind of like the whole team vibe. And then, yeah, it worked out eventually, I guess. But
as someone who's played against you, someone as fast as you were built for the sport for lacrosse, and I mean, just in the last couple of years, you built those quadzillas of yours. So
Saquon Barkley.
No, you were built for this sport at such a young age. But I'll let Chris tee off his next question because I know he wants to hear all about BC.
Yeah, I just want to hear like what your experiences were like in BC, bud, and what it was like playing in such a competitive, like that's a hotbed for lacrosse, and there's so many great teams. What part of BC were you in, bud?
I played for Coquitlam. Okay. So I stayed in Port Coquitlam. They call it Poco up there. It's like Dartmouth, Halifax, kind of like Dartmouth, Coarbor, same kind of situation. So beautiful town. Like it's like Poco's kind of a town, but Coquitlam's like a big mega city, right? Like it's the size of Halifax, right?
It's funny. I actually, when I lived there, I lived in Port Moody. It was called. So
right
next to Coquitlam. They were kind of rivals.
Port Moody. Yeah. They're all like kind of connected, but no, it was unreal. Like obviously, when I went up there in, I want to say late April, they kind of brought me up on a. We kind of knew you got drafted, this and that. We don't really have much else to go on. So come up, keep you for the time being. If it goes well past like the deadline, obviously we'll keep you and stuff. But they're like, come July 1st, and we can't guarantee you a spot until then. So I basically kind of quit my job, moved up there on a limb, just kind of betting on myself like a little bit. Like, I was like, man, I could, be home in the middle of summer and just be devastated, right? Doing nothing for the rest of the summer. But like you said, man, the league's just so potent with talent. It's so, especially senior A up there. There's so many good lacrosse players in BC. Guys come from, Vancouver Island. They have 2 great teams on the island there. A lot of Alberta guys too kind of come in. We had probably 4 or 5 on our team this year, but no, it was amazing, and didn't go how we wanted to go in the playoffs, but just to play with some of those guys, like my coaches, Pat Coyle, Jason Bishop, like NLL champion coaches, Christian Del Bianco. Debatably the best goalie in the world was my goalie this summer.
Absolute stud in that.
Man,
Yeah.
I love that you took the risk and you bet on yourself. So much of, sports and in life is just believing that you can do stuff. So I think that's super admirable that you took a risk and obviously it's paying off for you, man. So that's super cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no, man, it was awesome. For sure. Thanks for asking.
Of course, of course. Hemi, how about you for your first?
Yeah, my question, and this is kind of like a bit of like a broader spectrum question, because I also know that you left Nova Scotia to also play junior in Orangeville in Ontario too. But the biggest thing I noticed, like you have a pretty hard training regimen. Like you train harder than anybody really. Like especially for lacrosse, like out here, your training's at a whole other level. Like what really kind of made you like turn the switch, being like, okay, like this is what I need to do to get to the next level? Like what really kind of prompted you to like take those steps to get to where you are?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually, man. Fuck, that's a good one, man. Obviously, I've been in the gym for a while, and like, before, like, I have a strength coach now, Ian, Rowan Leg. He's awesome. He's helped me get to where I want to be. But kind of pre-COVID, it was, I was in the gym working out, kind of doing my own thing, just kind of, trying to, do what I thought was right. And, I obviously thought before the whole COVID thing, I was a decent lacrosse player and stuff, but obviously COVID happened, and then I had so much time to myself. Obviously, those 2-3 months when I was in my bedroom doing nothing. So I was like, okay, like if you want to go, because I still thought I was going to go play junior A in Ontario that summer. So I was like, you know what, like don't fall over it, like keep grinding. Like this is when you're going to separate now. So I'm in here doing like hundreds of push-ups a day, like going for runs, like just trying to take over the world from my bedroom. And then like obviously nothing happened that summer. And then I was like, hey, you know what? Like, if I want to enter the draft and, kind of do my thing, I got to get a strength coach. So that's when I kind of reached out to Ian. And then we just took it to a whole new level. I mean, eating the right foods, the right amount of food, how I was lifting. Like, I gained like 25 pounds in like 3 months. Like, it was just.
That's
then,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off there. And that just reminded me, I read a quote today and it talked about like, if you're a good athlete, you take games seriously. If you're a great athlete, you take your everything seriously, your nutrition, your game prep, your practice prep, like all that stuff. And it sounds like you found the system, that recipe for success. So that's pretty cool to hear that, it all came together for you. And I think it's super awesome what you're doing, man. Like that's, you're playing at the highest levels, right? So that's super cool. It's super cool to hear. And we're just pumped to have you on, man. Like that's
for sure. Yeah. That's
awesome.
Like,
you got to have that mentality though, right? To
exactly,
be the best, right? You gotta want it more than anything and put the work in all the time, not just show up for games and, base it on skill alone kind of a thing, right?
Yeah. Like the whole skill, like that part of it's like, yeah, like, you can be like the great lacrosse player and all that, but like at this point, like I've even coached kids before and been like, I'm looking for someone who's going to show up. I don't care if you're the best player or not. I just want you to like work hard, like do whatever it takes. You know what I mean? If you're texting me after practice, be like, hey, like why do we do that drill? Or like, what's a good thing for me to do in the gym? Like that's personally what I would look for as a coach. I want to see the guy who's trying to, take it to the next level, not the kid that's, too cool to work hard. We all know a few of those kids that can be so good, but they just can't be bothered, going to the gym and working hard and being caught, not all partying or, doing all that stuff.
Absolutely. It's that drive that separates you, right? Like that drive to want to be the best. So that's a really cool perspective to hear. Adam, what's your next question for Drapes there, buddy?
I guess my next question is how excited were you when you got drafted?
Oh man, I wish there actually is a video. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet.
I saw that video on Twitter. I think it was Luke Steinberg who posted that.
I'm gonna need to get my hands on that, man.
I'll send it to him after, man. It was oh man, I get goosebumps kind of even thinking about it. Like it was just such raw emotion. Like a bunch of my old teammates, we all got together. I didn't even know I was gonna get drafted. I just put my name in there, put like a cool highlight tape. Hopefully someone's seen it. And I was just, praying. I was like, okay, like, get my name in there somehow and I'll worry about everything else after, like just And I went late, you know, it was like 4 hours into the draft. We started with like 10 of us at my GM's house, and there was like 4 of us left. But yeah, man, it just like, it was, I don't know, it's a feeling I've only felt a few times, and I'm still chasing it again to this day, you know. Whether
Yeah,
that's it.
we'll have
Championship
to get that video out there, because that video says it all, man. It's words can't really describe like the feeling you must have been felt in that video. Like, I mean, and even just how excited like your past teammates, because I know how close of a bond Dartmouth lacrosse is, and I guess the 3 games I was there before they dished me off my first 3 trades in that league. But I'm not salty about that at all. But yeah, like Dartmouth lacrosse, it's such a close group of people, and like especially like your age that you came up with.
I think that's why, you know, obviously we talked about it earlier, but that's why our group, I think, was so successful. Like, yeah, we had some good players, but it's because we all like, I still talk to like 80% of those guys like every day, like, you know, Jordy, Steinberg, you know, all those guys, like Tyson, like just we just meshed on like a different level, and it was just so easy to figure things out in game and like not get mad at each other when stuff was going wrong. It's like, all right, okay, like we've done this like 100 times together. Let's just, you know, let's figure it out. And
that's like the brotherhood of sport, or sisterhood if you're playing in women's, right? Like just that bond that you get with your teammates and your friends, and that lasts, you know, that'll last forever. And I know that, you know, the rest of us too, like I am still best friends with a lot of the guys I grew up playing sports with. That's just the beauty of it, right? You push each other to get better, and you get close, and you make those memories. And so that's pretty cool to hear for sure. Hemi, did you have we'll line you up next, brother.
Yeah, I mean the big thing coming up for you. You got your NLL camp coming up in Colorado. Like, just kind of like chat with us, like what are like the next steps. Like, you must be heading the camp off pretty soon, and how's your training been up until that point? Like, how do you feel going into not just an NLL camp, but you're also joining like the reigning champions in lacrosse. Like, there must be a whole lot of excitement. And correct me if I'm wrong, but one of your coaches out in BC also coaches in Colorado, correct?
yeah, so we had 2 coaches in Coquitlam this summer. Pat Coyle, like Hall of Fame player and coach.
Legend in lacrosse.
Legend, like nothing else I gotta say. Legend, amazing human being. And Jason Bishop, he's their old coach in Colorado. He was our other coach. So the 2 guys I was with all summer are there. So that was kind of, I wouldn't say my way in, but it was a good foot in the doorstep to kind of, you know, get those guys.
Oh, I mean, you were a second team Allstar in the one of the top leagues in Canada. Like that's no small feat. Like, I remember when I came across that, I was like, holy crap! Like those are like, there's like NLL stars on those teams. Like we talked about the Del Bianco, like being the best goalie in the world. Like he's like the senior lacrosse leagues are filled with like the best players in the world. It's
Crazy, yeah. Even to be able to say that I woke up Monday morning, I seen that on Twitter, and like I was stunned. I was like, that's amazing, but I was like, you know, damn, like that's, to even say that I was even ever in that conversation's amazing. But
yeah.
talk about
And that came on you taking a bet on yourself going out to BC, not even knowing you have a guaranteed spot out there. And it just proves and shows how hard you work to get to that point, because I mean, you really had to take a bet on yourself, and look how it paid out for you.
Yeah, for sure. And like, still kind of doing it to this day. I leave for camp next Thursday. So I fly up next Thursday to Denver. We're there all weekend, and then we're kind of back and forth all month. I go Toronto, we play Toronto, an exhibition game. I go to Vegas the next weekend. We play Vegas, an exhibition game.
No trouble in Vegas at all, will there?
No, they lined the schedule up pretty good, so we can't get up to nothing too crazy. So
Happy there on a Tuesday or something, eh?
Yeah, which works out pretty good.
Might not. I don't know if you guys know this, but Vegas is the new expansion team in the NLL. So
yeah, we play them. Their first game in front of fans is against us too, so that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, that's going to be so exciting.
that atmosphere is going to be bumping that night.
It won't feel like it won't be a preseason game, that's for sure.
No, it won't be.
Exactly.
But no, man, it's been going good. Obviously, it's, like it was, I remember I have a countdown on my phone, just looking every day. I remember it feels like yesterday it was like 70 days, right? Now it says like 9 days, right? So it's like, holy smokes.
It comes up
like,
quick on you.
quick. So, it's obviously, I wouldn't say I'm nervous at this point. I've been to a camp before. I know what I got to do. I've played with these guys before. I'm at that level of those guys too, right? It's not like, I'm a young, like guy they're bringing in to like give him a chance. Like I feel like I know I should be on that lacrosse team. So it's a different mentality than when I went to my last year. I feel like I was the new guy, just like, maybe trying to get on the team and stuff. But now, like, I really feel like, and I know that I should be on that team. So I'm just excited to get there and play some lacrosse again.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Can't wait to follow you there, man. It's gonna be exciting time for you and your family for sure. I just think that's so cool, dude. And so the travel, and we talked a lot about, obviously you're doing all the right stuff right now to get you ready for the next level, but obviously every athlete faces challenges along the road. So what were some of those challenges like for you to get your dream, of playing in a professional league? Like what were some of the challenges that kind of you had to overcome to get to this level?
Yeah, I think it kind of started early. I did the same thing when I was like 18. I moved to Orangeville, kind of dropped everything and went there. And that was tough for me. It was like, moving to like a small town, smaller than Dartmouth, like way smaller than Dartmouth. Basically just going up there to play lacrosse, like just chasing this dream that at that point I was playing junior B up there. So at that point I couldn't even see how that would ever happen ever. I was like, man, like, this is tough. Like,
and those changes must have been tough on like mental health and stuff, man. Like that's
I didn't like, I look back now and I thought I enjoyed my time there when I was there, but I look back now after being away, I'm 23 now. I really didn't. I wanted to be home the whole time. Like when we lost, I really didn't care too much because like, okay, that means I get to go home, right? Which sucks, kind of saying it loud, but it's like at that point when I was 18, I was like, I just, I want to be home. Like
it's such an early age to move away from home, and especially go to like such a small town in Ontario where like you really don't know a whole lot of people, and really like I don't know Orangeville very much, but I can't imagine there's too much to do out there outside of lacrosse.
Yeah, like my days were mowing lawns, working at Dairy Queen or at the rink. So it was tough. It was really tough. And then even I went back the next year, a little better. I'm a little older, but I think the 2-year break and me maturing, kind of realizing actually, that I was like, okay, you're gonna play in the NLL, and then made that choice to go away this summer. Obviously it's tough. There's like relationships and friends and family. I miss my whole dog. Like we got a puppy before I left, and I came back and he's like 100 pounds, right? So
yeah,
I miss seeing the growth of that, right? But everyone understands. I kind of knew it's what I had to do, but it was tough. Some things were really tough. A lot of injuries along the way. A lot of tore my hip flexor a while ago. A few strains in my leg, but
I think that's all. It says a lot about you, though, bud. You know what? You faced adversity and you came out stronger than ever. And I think that just goes to show, not only the kind of athlete that you are, but also the kind of person that you are. And I got a lot of admiration for you and your story, man. Honestly, it's just giving me chills just thinking about your journey so far. And
I appreciate that.
And we know that there's lots more good stuff to come from you for sure. So Denny, what's your next question for Drapes there, buddy?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Let us know when you come to Halifax, because we are gonna be Colorado fans.
Yes, sir.
Night.
Yes, sir. You better be. You better be.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if we're the only Colorado fans in the goddamn building.
I have a weird feeling you guys won't be though for some reason.
No, there's going to be quite the crew of Draper fans there that night, I'm sure.
It'll be an away game. It'll be an away game for Halifax.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Yeah, is there a home game in Halifax for Colorado in the schedule?
Not this year. No, we don't play them at all. Which maybe in the playoffs if it works out like that, but nothing regular season wise. I'd love to, be a part of that in the playoffs again. We'll see if we make it or they make it, but sometime it'll happen sooner or later. Maybe not, maybe this year, maybe not year after, but there'll be a time sooner or later where I'll get the chance.
Yeah, you definitely will, like especially with the way the league's growing and all that stuff. But my next question is really just about the growth of lacrosse in Nova Scotia. Like you've seen a big wave of like players like 10 years ago, it almost seemed unimaginable of like Nova Scotia players doing so well on the big stage between you and Alex Pace and Jordy McKenna, who have all like stepped into the NLL. But then you also got guys like Liam McGraw on the come up. Like there's been a lot of talent coming out of Nova Scotia. Like what do you think has kind of like attributed to lacrosse, like all these stud players coming out of a really small province? Like, I mean, like we've all been the like both of us have been the nationals when we're in Pee Wee and Bantam and U16 and whatever, and get absolutely our asses kicked by Ontario.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't think you knew this, but when the last the nationals they did was field nationals, we lost Ontario 30-0, and we lost to BC 33-3.
That's tough to get up the next morning, man. I don't know how I'd get over all to bed after that one.
Yeah, like it was. And that's in a field game too. Like it was like we got our asses handed to us. But like you're looking now, like was it your midget team that got the bronze in?
So it was the year after mine, but I think we laid the foundation for them. We came fourth the year before. First time ever we beat Alberta. First time we've ever tied BC. We didn't beat Iroquois, but I think they beat us in the bronze medal game. No, BC beat us in the bronze medal game. But lost to BC in the bronze medal game like 8-7 overtime. We just that was something
that we used to not be able to touch these.
Oh my
provinces.
God, it was unheard of.
Now we're doing really really well, like on the Canadian stage, and we're seeing these players. Like do you think that anything, because like all this started happening even before the Thunderbirds even came around, so you can't even say that it was the pro team that really like what do you think really helped attribute to the growth of lacrosse for even us to get a pro team here?
Yeah, I mean, I'll speak on just like the guys first. Obviously there's some great senior lacrosse players here. A few names stick out like that are, Nova Scotia born, raised, Ian McShane, Jamie Dunbar, Jasper, guys like that. They really, they grinded, but they didn't, McShane went away for a few years and then he came back and, he didn't really get the look he was hoping for, kind of, hurt his knees. So, couldn't really continue. But, then, I think really what kind of started getting the ball rolling was, Alex Pace goes away first. And then, us younger guys see that happen. He's playing like St. Catharines Junior A, being a stud, because he is a stud. The guy's disgusting. And, then Jordy kind of goes away like a year later. And then I'm like, man, okay, I want to do that. So, then I go, and then me and Liam and Rylan go at the same time. And then Keaton goes the year after. Then we got like 3-4 guys a year going to these tryouts just to, try and get away and get better, right? And that's some of the guys realize they want to stay here and do it, and, ended up being, great lacrosse players, like Mitch Broussard, Zach Harrigan, Chris Millette, Tyson Carvery, guys my age, right? There's, just still, Nate Jollymore is a stud, like stud.
What a man! I got to play my last year SMU with him as a first year goalie. Guy never played field goalie before, and like I know he had that goalie instinct from box, but like you got to have some set of nuts to step in a field net. But yeah, holy crap! Like can Nate ever? His just instinct for the ball is just.
Yeah, he's to the day like he gives me a challenge. Me and Nate have like this weird little battle that goes on every practice, and it's just
that's
like
such a good guy too.
It's like it's not like we're not playing lacrosse anymore. It's completely like a game of chess. Like it's just like like what's he gonna do? What does he think I'm gonna do? Like what do I think he's gonna think? I don't know. We're so deep into it that it's not even lacrosse anymore.
Like 5 steps ahead of the other.
Oh yeah, right? Oh yeah, yeah. But the team, and then like obviously we had those guys going. We kind of started rolling a bit, and then once the team came here, I think a lot of kids were like, myself included, was like, oh my god, like I could play for that lacrosse team. Like that'd be amazing. And then that's when I think everyone really kind of started watching them play here a bit, and the wheels started turning. People, all my friends that would like go watch these games, like, man, is this what you've been playing like all these years? I'm like, yes, like this is the sport that I've like dedicated my life to. And they're like, oh, okay, like now I understand why you're so invested in it.
those games are fun to go to, man. Like,
The music's going the whole time.
The
Like
vibe is, it's feeling good. I love
you're seeing 20 plus goals a game. Like the aggression, like
just the atmosphere,
everything. It's absolutely electric. Like, and I was when I was out in San Diego, I got to see 5 Seals game, and the atmosphere is just as electric over there as it is in Halifax. Like, I mean, I think everywhere you go in the league, like it's an entertaining sport, and I just think a lot of people don't realize that. Like when the Thunderbirds came, I brought a lot of people to go see lacrosse, like guys that I wouldn't be able to get to come out to my games, but guys to go see a sports game when you when there's Keefs when you can have Keefs in the stands. Yeah, they're like holy crap, this is like, even my dad, my uncle, they're like, this is way more entertaining than watching hockey. Like this is way more fun than a Moosehead game or watching, like, this is like the atmosphere is just, it's out of this world.
Yeah, and it's like, on skates, you can float down the ice, there and back, but like lacrosse, it's like pure athleticism. It's like, if this guy's bombing down the floor, it's like this guy's just like, I don't know. Just, it's some of the things that you can watch happen in lacrosse are just like, next to nothing, and like it can't be repeated ever again.
Yeah.
So I tell you, boys, these episodes, we are just flying through these. I feel like we're doing such a great job having great guys on, like, and people on like you, Drapes. Adam, what's your final question of the night, buddy? What else do you got for Drapes?
What's your jersey number, Drapes?
So I've had a few the last few years. I started with 19. That was what I wore growing up. I got to junior, and then one of my teammates had 19, so I picked 4, and then 4 stuck with me. Like my nickname to this day with most of my friends, people just call me 4. Like that's just what they call me, right? But the other guys I play lacrosse with, like it's just like Draper or 4, and I respond to either one of them. And then I went away, and 4 wasn't available, so I wore 5. So I'm in the mix between 4 and 5, and then for Colorado, they asked me, obviously just like precautionary, like what jersey I want, and I actually picked 94 this year. Tyson Bell is like probably my favorite lacrosse player. I kind of walked away.
Nice. Yeah,
that's a badass number.
Had the chance to kind of
watching Tyson Bell.
Yeah, I had the chance to kind of room with him last year at camp, and chop it up and meet him as a dude, not just a lacrosse player. And he's a sick guy. He's a great dude, and I just love watching him play. I try and play like him, so I was like, that's only fitting. I wear 94 for me.
Absolute menace on D. Like,
oh my god,
man, I watch him play, and it'd be like you can just tell it's just like this is one guy you don't want to see get his wires crossed, because
he's a maniac.
Like, and
he hits hard too. He slashes hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't feel great. Don't feel great. That's for sure.
Oh man. Well, just want to show our gratitude and thank you so much for coming on tonight, buddy, and taking the time out of your night. And we look forward to following your journey and rooting you on. And I never thought I'd be a Colorado fan, but hey, I am now. Bud. You've turned.
Go Mammoth! Not to mention they also have the coolest logo and jersey.
Yes, sir.
Bar none.
You're going to look badass in that 94 jersey, buddy. And we look forward to watching you continue to grow as an athlete. And thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, fellas, thanks for having me, man. I love talking lacrosse, and 3 great guys too, right? So I mean, nothing else that we're doing tonight.
Appreciate it a lot, buddy. And man, just like some of the stories you said on there, like I think that's you've had 2 or 3 stories that are above and beyond some of the best we've had on this show. Like especially like betting on yourself, and really I think anybody who listens to this, they'll truly know like the sacrifice that you put into this, and it's awesome to see you get rewarded for it, because nobody deserves as much as you. So
yeah, I appreciate that, guys, big time. And I'll when I get that first game in Halifax, I'll make sure you guys are the first 3 to know.
Oh man, we will be there. We will be rooting you on, buddy.
I'm gonna be the guy that has the sign with the stick in your face on it.
So Denny is not afraid to go against the grain and cheer for the opposite team in their home barn. He will be there with the jersey and the sign and everything, and nobody will say squat to him. So
yeah, sounds good to me. I'll be loving it. I'll be hearing you the whole time.
yeah.
I'm going to the Dalhousie St. Mary's hockey game tomorrow night, and at the Forum. Pray for me I don't get killed by a Dalhousie fan.
No one's braver than you are, Dan. No one's braver.
Denny will go across enemy lines, and
I'm going all out, baby.
yeah, you're
Against the
the
grain.
type of
I
guy
love
to
it.
wear a Bruins jersey at a Habs game. Like even I don't have the balls to do that as much.
Yeah, I would never do that. I would never do that.
Oh my goodness, yeah. The one time I saw someone wear a Montreal fan at a Bruins playoff game, I've never seen someone harassed more in the upper bowl. Like just empty beer cans being thrown at them. Like it was like, I mean, yeah, Boston's a pretty tough crowd as it is. I couldn't imagine being a Montreal fan there, but yeah, if there's any guy who's going to get away with it, it's this guy here.
Absolutely. From all of us at BHD Sports, thanks again to Brett Draper for coming on tonight, and thank you for tuning in, everyone. And we look forward to bringing you more content. And that does it for episode 18 of BHD Sports Podcast. Hope you have a great night.